After cracking the pre-GFC threshold this week, the ASX has further growth firmly in its sights. In a bid to replicate the Nasdaq's rapid rise, the ASX is on a push to woo tech companies from around the globe to list here. But some analysts warn the hype around buzzy tech stocks may be short-lived. Rachel Papazzoni reports.
Tech is the future. We're in the digital age.
Max Cunningham is on a recruitment drive. He's tasked with the job of convincing tech startups from as far away as Israel, Malaysia and the US to list on the Australian Stock Exchange.
Our goal is to bring just more investment-grade companies to market to create greater diversity. And look, I think it would be great if we can get, over the next decade, a tech cohort in this market in the, in the high single-digit percentage of the market.
Tech stocks are worth about 2% of the ASX, and it's growing.
The market's trading currently at about 4%, 4.5% growth over the next 3 years. If you compare that to the tech sector, we're getting closer to 11% growth.
The recruitment drive appears to be working. US payment platform Sezzle will launch its IPO on the ASX next week.
Australia has become a mecca for this type of product, and the Australian investor has seen it take hold. They understand how powerful it can be, and they already can see what's happening internationally with it.
Much like Australian success story Afterpay, Sezzle allows consumers to buy an item and pay for it in instalments. Only North American consumers can use the technology, but the business is too small to list there.
The ASX is more accepting of younger tech companies, which we're at a little bit of a younger tech stage compared to many other tech companies that tend to enter the NASDAQ.
Israeli tech company Apps Village is also courting Australian investors.
We saw that the Australian investors really know to appreciate Israeli technologies and talents. There were several of very successful Israeli technologies that have listed on the ASX.
For a monthly subscription, Apps Village helps small and medium businesses build a mobile phone app. While resources and financial stocks will continue to have the lion's share of that cash, tech is the fastest growing sector on the ASX.
We see it's about 250 stocks. That's doubled in the last 4 years.
This week, WiseTech, one of the top 5 ASX tech companies known as the WAX stocks, was the first to cross over the $10 billion market cap threshold. But growth like that is rare, and many newly listed tech companies are yet to even make a profit.
Of the 250 stocks that we look at in this sector, there's only about 60 or 70 of them that have revenues greater than 10 mil.
And as companies like Sezzle and Apps Village prepare to ring this bell and launch on the ASX, some analysts are warning the only way isn't always up.
Between October and December last year, which was only 6 to 9 months ago, during that 3-month period, some of these stocks fell by 40, 50, 60%. So it can happen very, very quickly.
Roger Montgomery says the conditions which have created growth in tech stock values, a low interest rate environment and limited options to invest, are unlikely to continue forever.
It will come back to roost, and it will come back to hurt people who don't know what they're doing.
This isn't the first growth phase for tech on the ASX. In the late 90s, with the dot-com boom, came the bust of 1999.
If there's a bubble coming, I think it's like 1995, not 1999. Remember, in 1999, everyone was talking about it in the general community. Here, possibly in the financial markets, we're talking about some of the tech opportunities. That talk hasn't got out to the general market of mum and dad investors.
We're not quite in bubble territory. It's elevated, and risks are certainly elevated. And we've seen the price reactions when companies tend to disappoint. They come off quite quickly.
Despite the heightened risk, emerging tech companies like Apps Village believe there's no better time to launch on the ASX.
So if there's a bubble, it's okay, but we are less focused on it. We're focused on building a very big company, $1 billion company, hopefully.